Alright, so we can sit back upon the heels. Alright, we're going to stretch all the way up towards the top end of your mat. And just spreading out your fingers. And then starting to draw your body nice and slowly along the ground. Rolling down your shoulders, opening your shoulders and chest. Drawing up into a cat stretch, rounding up through the shoulders and the back. And then taking the head and the tailbone away and sitting yourself back down onto your heels. And again, let's bring the body through, lifting, elbows in, shoulders down. Drawing up into a cat stretch, putting up through the shoulders and the back. Taking the head and tailbone away, and sitting back down onto your heels. And again, let's bring the body to pull up and through. And then curling the toes, sending the hips back and the head down. Draw forwards into a plank, and then bending your knees and sitting back to your heels. Let's draw the body to pull up and along the ground, and then curling the toes, head down, bottom up, and lengthening along the back of your body. Draw forwards into a plank, and then bending your knees and sitting all of the way back. And again, bring the body up and through, curling the toes, sending the hips back and the head down. Draw forwards into a plank, and then bending your knees and releasing back to your heels. And again, bring the body up and through, curling the toes, lengthening all the way down and away. Draw forwards into a plank, bending your knees and sitting on back. One more time, drawing up and rolling downwards with the shoulders. Curl the toes and staying here in your down dog and walking your feet from one to the other. And spreading your fingers nice and wide to the floor. Letting the hips roll a little from side to side. And just notice how your body is today. Alright, now we can lean the heels back. Coming down onto your knees. And place your right foot forwards. And if we can take the right hand to the outside of your foot, bring your left arm up and over, take a little bit of a stretch out from your waist and look up towards your hand. And then bring that hand all of the way back down, curl the toes, lift up the back knee, turning open to the right and raising your right arm up. Back down upon the floor, and let's raise both of your arms up through the middle, taking back your right hand behind your left and just coming into that little wrist wrap. And then letting your arms all the way back down again. Move back onto the back knee, drawing back your toes, coming into a little bit of a calf and hamstring stretch. And just go for a little bit of a tilt backwards through the tailbone. Alright, gently come on back up. And let's take the fingers together, clasp up your fingers. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, activate your waist. And let's bring the arms to draw up and over. towards your hand, taking a lovely, big, generous stretch into the side of your body. And then bring your hand all of the way back down. Curl the toes, lift up the back knee, and turning your direction to the left and raising your left arm. Back down, and let's draw up through the middle, taking your left hand back behind the right, and then letting your arms all of the way back down, just moving off onto that back knee, drawing your toes back, a little bit of a tilt backwards through the tailbone, pressing from the center of your chest. Touching distance, and then just let's work in the lower back to a gentle imprint. So just going to set the body up, so working your lower back into the floor, and then releasing your back away from the ground. Again, taking your lower back down upon the ground, and then release out into a neutral spine for me, and then bring the shoulders to draw up and around by your ears, and then work them down. And again, roll them up, and then work them down, or work the shoulders away from your ears. And then let's take a lovely deep breath in through your nose. And as you breathe out through your mouth, blowing the breath out with a little energy. So again, as you breathe in, ribs widening to the side and back of the body. And then as you breathe out, blowing the breath, and then starting to draw the navel back to the spine. So on your in-breath, your ribs are widening. On your out-breath, we're connecting through the midline of your body, drawing up from pelvic floor, pulling all the way up to your transverse abdominis muscle. So just to begin with, getting back used to your rhythm, using that deep breath, so you have a really strong in-breath through your nose. And as you breathe out through your mouth, it's as if you're blowing out a candle, and you're breathing out, but also at the same point pulling up. Okay? Now I'm going to start us off today with our ab prep. If we can bring the hands to sit back behind your head, opening your elbows nice and wide. And as you breathe in through your nose, nodding the chin. As you breathe out through your mouth, raising your upper body. Breathing in to stay, and then breathing out, navel back to the spine as you lower back down. Breathing in, nodding the chin. As you breathe out and lift, we're lifting from the center of your chest and engaging with your core. Breathing in to stay, and then breathing out, navel back to the spine as you lower. Now if you have a ball, we could place the ball between your knees. Okay, and then as you come up, breathing out, and we can take a little bit of a squeeze to the ball as we lift. Breathing in, letting go, and then breathing out, and again squeezing the ball as you lower back down to the floor. Breathing in, nodding the chin. Breathing out, engaging with the core as you lift. Breathing in, letting go, and then breathing out, engaging with your core as you lower back to the floor again. Breathing in to nod the chin. Breathing out, navel back to the spine, squeezing the ball. Breathing in, letting go. And then breathing out, engaging with your core as you lower. Now you could, either with or without the ball, try doing this without your feet on the floor. So as you come up, breathing in, and you're squeezing out, breathing out as you lift. Breathing in to let go, and then breathing out, squeezing a little as you lower. Alright, but again, still, even if you weren't squeezing the ball, you could still get a little bit of purpose here. pressing the knees maybe closer together. Breathing in, then breathing out and engaging with your core as you lower back down. One more time, breathing in, not the chin. Breathing out and engaging with the core as you lift. Breathing in, let go. And then breathing out, engaging with your core as you lower all of the way back down. Okay, now I'm going to lengthen the legs along the floor, but I'm going to place my ball underneath one foot. So I have one leg out and along the ground. Okay, so, sorry, I'm going to work that leg away. So again, with this position that I'm going to work with here, you don't need to use a ball. You could actually just slide your foot up and along the ground. But basically I'm going to draw my straight leg that's not on the ball up, and then bend the other leg and roll the ball in. Then as I take it down, I'm breathing out and pressing away, leg comes back down. As you breathe in, raising the leg up, I'm staying on the same leg. And as you lower down, breathing out and pressing away through the toes. Breathing in, that's it. And just if you have a ball, you're rolling that ball in and breathing out to press out and away. Again, breathing in as you draw up. Breathing out, engaging your core to press away. One more time, breathing in. And breathing out to press all the way down. And let's swap it on over. Okay? So bringing the other leg up straight, breathing in. You can draw the foot in with the ball. And then breathing out, or just sliding the leg up and along the ground. Breathing in as you draw upwards. Breathing out, engaging the core as you press away. Breathing in as you draw upwards. And then breathing out, engaging the core as you press away. And again, breathing in as you draw in. Breathing out as you press out and away. Couple more, breathing in. And breathing out to press away. One more time, breathing in, draw the leg in. Breathing out, extend out and away. Okay. So let's from here, gently draw yourself over onto your knees. And I'm going to work next into your plank, okay? I'm going to come down onto the forearms. I'm going to hold a static hold today. We're going up for our 25 breath, okay? You could, if you have a ball, place it between your ankles. And for some people, it does actually give them a little bit of a reference point. It reminds them to squeeze and push back into the heels. After that, I'm going to be working the glutes. So I'm going to be doing that on your belly today, so the ball can stay between your ankles. Alright, so like I say, if you don't have a ball, it doesn't matter. It's not going to make, the difference. Okay, we can still do the exercise. Alright, but if you have a ball, it will be another added, maybe distraction. Okay, so that, I know that sometimes helps. Alright, so forearms are coming down towards the ground. And then you're either staying on the knees, or if you can, curling the toes and pushing away. And we're gazing slightly beyond the fingers, breathing in. As you breathe out, we're pulling up through the core. Push back into your heels if you're on your toes, and really keep the legs nice and strong. Bottom ribs are pulled up on all occasions here. Breathing in, breathing out, 4. In, out, 5. In, out, 6. In, out, 7. In, out, 8. In, out, 9. In, out, 10. In, out, 11. In, out, 12. In, out, 13. In, out, 14. In, out, 15. In, out, 16. In, out, 17. In, out, 18. In, out, 19. In, out, 20. In, out, 21. In, out, 22. In, 25. Lower yourself all the way back down. Okay, so I'm going to bring my hands to come in underneath the forehead. Now, two things we can do here. If you have a ball, you can keep it between your heels, and you can draw your heels in, breathing in, and breathing out, pressing away. And if you have the energy, lifting up both of your legs. So if you don't have a ball, equally you can do the same thing. You can draw your heels in towards you, and then as you press away, pointing your toes, squeezing the backside and lifting the legs. Now if you find that too much, do an alternating leg lift instead. Alright, so see what it feels like for you today. Okay, so with this one, the breath work here, as you draw your heels in, breathing in, as you send the legs away, breathing out, squeeze the backside, and maybe if you can, lifting the legs. Breathing in, flexing your feet, and breathing out as you point your toes, draw the navel back to the spine, and lifting your legs. And again, breathing in, flexing your feet, and breathing out, pointing your toes, squeeze the backside, and lifting both of your legs. And again, breathing in, heels towards you, breathing out as you lift. And if you're doing the alternating leg lift, then you're breathing out as you lift one leg and breathing in to lower it. Okay, so all levels here, just finding where you need to be with your practice. Breathing in, as you extend the legs away, or you lift the leg up, you're breathing out and you're pulling your belly, if you can, away from the ground. Couple more times, breathing in, breathing out, pressing away with the legs. And again, one more time, breathing in, breathing out, engaging your core and lifting. Alright, now let's bring the ball up. And I'm going to option here, I'm going to work into the breaststroke. I'm going to option that we work a version in a moment, whereas we're passing the ball up to the other hand, we're bringing it down the other side of the body and then letting the shoulders come down to the floor. Just to say, if you are going to do this version with the ball, we're not passing the ball over the back again, okay? I have seen people do that, and they end up just using the same arm going up. The idea is that we use the other arm to come up as well, all right? So both arms get used. Equally again, if you don't have a ball, you could just pass your arms up, okay? And again, it will still be a little bit more challenging, all right? With this one, turn your feet in and relax your buttocks here for me. And let's just start off with the shoulders to begin with. So I'd like us to breathe in to roll back the shoulders. Breathe out and engaging your core as you lift your upper body. Breathing in to stay. Then breathing out to lower and shoulders are coming back down. Breathing in, rolling back your shoulders. Breathing out, draw the navel back to the spine as you lift. Breathing in to stay. Breathing out to lower and shoulders back down. Breathing in, peel back your shoulders. Breathing out, engaging the core as you lift. Breathing in to stay, and breathing out as you lower. And you could stay with that version. I'm going to start working in with the ball. Okay, so I've got my ball in the right hand. Breathing in, roll back those shoulders. Breathing out to engage the core to lift. Breathing in to pass the ball up to the other hand. Breathing out, draw your arms back and then let your shoulders come to the ground. Breathing in, peel back those shoulders. Breathing out to raise your upper body. Breathing in, pass the ball up to the other hand. And breathing out as you draw it back and let your shoulders to the floor. Breathing in, peel the shoulders back. Breathing out, engaging your core to lift. Breathing in, pass the ball up. Breathing out, navel back to the spine as you lower and shoulders are back to the ground. Breathing in, peel back your shoulders. Breathing out, engaging the core to lift. Breathing in to pass the ball up. And breathing out as you draw it on back and let your shoulders down. Breathing in, peel back your shoulders. Breathing out, engaging your core to lift. Breathing in, pass the ball up. Breathing out as you draw it back and letting your shoulders down. Last little bit. Breathing in, shoulders roll back. Breathing out, engaging your core to lift. Breathing in, pass the ball up. Breathing out, draw it back. And then letting your shoulders all the way back down. Okay, let's gently bring yourself up onto your hands and knees. And let's just release out the shoulders and the back. So I'm going to plant my fingers just slightly off the sides of the mat. And then as I draw my body down through my arms, breathing in, elbows going back of the body. And then as we draw up, breathing out and drawing up through the shoulders and the back. And again, as we come down, breathing in, elbows go back. And as you breathe out, drawing on up. Again, breathing in as we draw downwards through the middle. Breathing out, pulling up through the shoulders and the back. One more time, coming down through the middle, breathing in. And then breathing out and drawing up. All right, coming round to a seated position. Okay, pop yourself around. And we're going to work into your roll back from here. Okay, so moving down through the back. If you do want to use a cushion behind your back or anything around your feet to help you, I always place that into position now. Release out your shoulders. Okay, so you've got a really open position there with your collarbone. Take a deep breath in, fill up your lung space, and then as you breathe out, start to draw your ribs downwards towards your hips, and maybe hold it about halfway. Breathing in, and then breathing out to carefully draw your body up to a nice tall seated position. Again, breathing in. As you breathe out, start to lower your back, carefully back. Keep your chin away from your chest. Breathing in and breathing out. Slowly drawing back up. And if that's enough, going backwards, stay with that halfway movement today. Deep breath in. If it feels good to, breathing out and maybe lowering your back into a little bit of an imprint. Breathing in and then breathing out. Coming carefully out of the imprint and drawing all of the way up to a tall seated position. Again, breathing in. As you breathe out, nice and slowly, working your way to the point you know you can get back from. Breathing in and breathing out and slowly drawing all the way up to a tall seated position. Good. Really just again, think about keeping your shoulders relaxed, keeping your collarbone open, trying to make the movement smooth and fluid. Breathing in and out, slowly drawing back on up. Good, one more time, breathing in. As you breathe out, rolling down through the back. Breathing in and breathing out to slowly draw your body back up to that seated position. Good. Alright, legs from there, come around onto your side. Okay, so I'm going to place both of my feet, one on top of the other on top of the ball. It's going to act as a very subtle destabilization. What you could do, okay, you can either keep both feet on the floor, alright, or, that bottom foot on the floor, or you could just hover the leg above the ground and lift it lower, okay? If you're using the ball, it's almost the same action. In fact, you're looking to put the ankle on the ball, but we're not looking to press down upon it. So we're trying to hold the leg just slightly away from the ground. Alright, so you just very carefully touching the ball. And then as we lift the top leg, breathing out and breathing into lower. Like I say again, you can lift the bottom leg and hold it in midair. Alright, so you don't have to be balancing on anything. And if you are balancing on the ball, I want you to try and be careful, like I say, not to just rest on the ball. Alright, because you may as well be resting on the ground. So you're breathing out to lift and breathing into lower. Really working into that range of motion through the hip and breathing in. As you lift the leg, engaging with your core and breathing in as you lower. Again, breathing out to press the leg away and into lower. 2 more of those if you can. Breathing out to lift and into lower. 1 more time. And releasing it all of the way back down. Good. Alright, now bring your knees in towards you and propping your head up. We're going to work on drawing the knee open to work in the inner thigh and to draw in a little bit more usage for glute medius. So as we roll the top knee back, breathing out and then breathing into lower back down. Breathing out to roll the knee open, breathing in to draw back. So we don't want to roll the whole of the upper body back, okay? We just want to try and get that knee to open upwards and back. Breathing into lower. Again, engaging with your core as you press back. Breathing into lower. And again, breathing out as you lift. And breathing into lower. Couple more so you're pressing on back into lower. Again, breathing out to press into lower. 1 more time. And relax. Alright, let's just take hold of that foot and just draw the knee back a little. Come into a quad stretch. Up onto the elbow and draw your knees slightly forwards of your body, coming into your side bend. As we reach up, breathing out and stretching up past your ear and breathing into lower. So if you can, going for the ground, okay, so as you lift, you're trying to reach over to touch the floor in as you lower. Alright, now, same thing can be going up into the hand. Alright, so we're letting the knee and the chest open up. And then as we go up, breathing out, reaching over and stretching, so bending from the waist. Okay, now you don't have to, but for those of you who want an incentive, okay, maybe you're feeling strong, you want to take the practice on a bit further. As you go over, you could use your ball and you could see if you could touch the floor with your ball past your head. Eventually, that would be lovely, wouldn't it, if you could reach with your fingers, okay, to the ground. Alright, but for the moment, the ball might be a good incentive. I find basically when we do this, is that using the ball to touch the ground, you start to pull up with the waist a little bit more. So you pull up through, you work a little bit harder from underneath. Alright, so it's just a little bit again of an encouragement to bring the body over. So you really get that stretch through the body. So keeping the hips forwards. Remember the arm is going up past your ear, it's not going to go in front of your body. Breathing out to lift. And into lower. Good. Last one. Okay, swing it round. We're going to go to the other side. So our first one is our hovering leg. okay, or our bottom leg balancing on the ball. Okay, so taking your body out along the ground, head resting along your arm. Just walk your arm back so it's not hanging too far forwards of your body. As you bring the top leg up, breathing out and breathing in as you lower. Again, floating that leg away from the body, breathing in to lower. Engaging with your core as you lift and breathing in to lower. And again, pressing the toes away from the body and in as you lower. Again, breathing out to lift and in to lower. Navel draws back to the spine. Remember, if you're using the ball, pointing your toes and just very delicately laying your foot against the ball. And lower. Last one. Alright, and drawing your knees in towards you. Propping your head up. Big toes touching. And then when we draw that top knee open, breathing out. A little bit of hip work here. Mainly you've got your inner thigh muscles working and you've got glute medius kicking in. Breathing out to press the knee back, breathing into lower. Engaging the core to press back, into lower. Again, breathing out to press the knee away, into lower. Breathing out, belly pulls back, breathing into lower. And again, pressing the knee back and open, into lower. And again, engaging with the core, into lower. Two more there, breathing out to lift, into lower. One more. Alright, then taking hold of your foot, your ankle, gently draw the knee back. Let's get ready to come up into your side bend. So elbows and knees drawing in, okay, opening out your shoulders and chest. And then as we lift, breathing out, pulling up through the waist, reaching over, stretching through the oblique muscles, and breathing into lower. And again, as you go up, breathing out, reaching up and over, and in as you lower. Alright, so we know if that's enough, we're going to do a few more, break if you need to. If you're coming up onto your hand and you want to go maybe with the ball as well, so when you go up, breathing out, reaching, and trying to find the ground beyond your head, breathing in as you lower. So hips drawn forwards, breathing out and reach, into lower. And again, engaging with your core and lift. And into lower. And again, drive the body up and through. Hips drawing forwards. Into lower. And again, engaging, pressing, lifting. And lower. Last couple if you can. That's it, try not to let your body roll forwards. Alright, and once you've finished, come around to a seated position. Now I'm going to work with the ball rolling along the legs. Alright, let me show you how to do it if you're not going to use the ball today. So you can keep the knees bent a little if you wish to on this one. So when we draw forwards, we start to use a wave action with the body and then pull on up. So we lift, we draw downwards along the legs and then we pull back up. Alright, so you can do that with straight legs We can draw along the body, tuck the head in and draw back up. If you have a ball, point your toes and you're going the other way round. So you're sending the ball along the legs and then drawing it back. But what I'm looking for today is the active stretching technique. Alright, so when you're using the ball, you're rolling it away, you're moving it forwards and backwards along the shins, okay, and all the way down towards your ankles. So you're rolling the ball out. But like I say, the same action, if we're doing the active stretch work, is that we lift up out of our sit bones and we reach it on forwards. We tuck the head in and then we draw the body back. Now the beauty of doing active stretching is we start to fool the body, okay? And we find that by the time we've finished and we've done enough repetitions, is that we can certainly go further along the legs. And the release that we have in our back is a little bit better. Maybe the hamstrings are getting a little bit more workout as well. So you're stretching it forwards and drawing it back in. All right, a couple more. And again, up and over. And drawing back up. Good. Let me bring you down onto your back and we're going to work into the 100. Now again, I've got the option with the ball, okay, for the 100. So you could place it between your knees and then every time you breathe out, we're giving a little squeeze. You could place it between your ankles and again, every time you breathe out, you could squeeze. Now again, that's a completely different thing as a distraction tactic, okay? What you can do is balance the ball on your feet and then take your legs away from you. Alright, so then you've got to really focus on keeping the ball in position. So it's up to you, alright, whatever floats your boat. Personally, I love things that have to be balanced, okay? So this sort of works for me, because I have to focus on keeping my legs and focus on what I'm doing with my ball. Alright, but it's up to you. However way you can see it working better for you today. So if you need to keep your knees bent, by all means do. Alright, that's okay. If we could keep a neutral back, that would be great. We can support the head, either with our fingers or you could leave your head upon a cushion. Okay, and then setting up your breath pattern, breathing in for about 4, and then breathing out for about 6. You could also pat the air by your side if you don't need to support your neck. So nice deep breath in, maybe shut your eyes. And as you breathe out, really pulling up through your core. And let's go with 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 3, 24, 25, 6, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 3, 34, 35, 36, 7, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 3, 44, 45, 46, 7, 48, 49, 50. Really get that squeezing of the sponge feeling inside of your body. With 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 3, 64, 65, 66, 7, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 3, 74, 75, 6, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 3, 84, 85, 86, 7, 88, 89, 90, with 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Alright, then carefully come on down. And let's just draw one knee in towards you. Carefully draw that knee in, straighten the other leg. And then bring the knee to draw across the body. And just bringing your spare hand out to the side, looking over towards your hand. Bring that knee back in, slide the leg down, change it on over, bring the knee across the body, take your gaze towards your hand along the floor. To work into heel dig, okay? So I'm flexing out my feet, and as I lower one heel away from the body, breathing out, and as you draw back up, breathing in. So I've got a neutral back, and I'm lowering one heel away from the body. If you have a ball and you want to destabilize your body, pick up your hips and place the ball just beneath the sacrum. And then from there, flexing out with your feet, breathing out to dig the heel away, and breathing in as you bring it back up. And again, breathing out as you dig the heel down, and breathing in. So you really are, again, using that resistance to take the heel away from the body, breathing in, okay? Now you could stay with this. Okay, or we could maybe look today at reverse curling. Okay, so with your reverse curl, you'd have your back on the floor and your knees together. Then from here, we're looking to imprint the lower back, breathing out, and then breathing in to release away. Breathing out, imprinting your lower back carefully, and breathing in. Alright, now if you have a cushion or if you have the ball, you can place this beneath your sacrum again, or maybe just a little bit further up into your lower back. Also a cushion works really well for this one. Okay, and then from here we can look at working into a half roll back. So my legs aren't quite straight and I'm looking to lift up a little bit more and then slowly come back down. So I'm looking to tilt a little bit more, breathing out, breathing in. Like I said, a couple of cushions underneath your back, and you can do the same thing here. And what we're doing there is building up the strength from the lower abdominals to take the legs over. Now if you have a rollover, and you know that you can do that, you'd like to put that in today, then the legs go up towards the ceiling, and then you're peeling the legs over, breathing out. Breathing in to take the legs to separate, and then breathing out to slowly come back down, and legs come together at the end. So breathing in, out to send the legs up and over, breathing in to take the legs to separate, and breathing out, slowly lowering, and legs coming together at the end. Alright, finishing off your last one. Good, okay, let's from here, gently roll yourself over to one side, and pop yourself back up and around to seated. So 2 more things I want to work in today. I want to do a little bit of rotation, and then I want to do a little bit of opening the body back, okay? So today I'm going to work with the ball, okay? I'm going to put my hands either side, and then I'm rotating with the ball. If you don't have a ball, hands in prayer, okay? And then you're following the tips tips of your fingers around today instead. We want to keep the hips planted down. If a cross-leg position is not comfortable for you presently, have your legs out in front of you, okay, or feel free to sit on a cushion, all right? Bring your hips up a little bit higher, all right? So just finding, or you can sit on your heels, all right? If you're okay with kneeling, then you can sit with your heels underneath you. All right, otherwise, I've got my hands either side of my ball, my fingers are stretched out, and as I start to rotate a half semicircle away from the body, breathing out, upper body follows the ball, and then breathing in, bring it back to the middle. Now if you can also, a little bit of pressure, either with your palms together or upon that ball, and breathing in as you draw back. So you're breathing out and pressing a little as you turn, breathing in, drawing back. Again, breathing out a little bit of pressure as you turn, breathing in as you draw on back. And again, breathing out a little bit of pressure as you turn, breathing in to draw it on back. Again, breathing out, press to turn, breathing in to draw back. Again, breathing out, press to turn, breathing in to draw back. And again, breathing out, press to turn, breathing in. One more set, engaging that core, obviously as we go around. In to draw back. Good, one more. And drawing back round. Okay, all going down. So the last one I'm working on today, I'm going to draw my leg in towards the other leg. If that's not comfortable, keep your legs straight, all right? You can do the same thing. I'm going to work into a stretch over. Again, it's working on the active stretching. My hand's going to face away from me. I'm lifting and reaching on over. All right, so same thing. If you can't bend the leg in, you're reaching across and then you're lifting and pressing it up. It'll be a little bit harder, okay? Because if you've got a bent knee, it's a bit easier to press onto the bent knee. All right, but if you can't bend the knee at the moment, have your legs straight. Or you can miss out the lift. If you want to miss out the lift, you can do. Okay, so I'm reaching across, opposite arm to opposite leg. And then as I bring that arm over, hand goes back. Like I say, you could just lift your arm up. You don't have to lift. That's it, brilliant. And then as you go up, looking backwards. And we'll do that same side again. So we're reaching across, up and over. And then as we take the hand to the floor, we're lifting, we're opening the chest, the hands facing away from you, and you're looking a little backwards if you can. That's it. Good. And if it's something that you haven't done before, just again, don't feel that you've got to do all the repetitions. Just take a little break if you need to. We're lifting and opening the body back. All right, one more time if you can. Reaching over. As you circle the arm up, as it hips go forwards and reaching backwards. And then we'll change sides. All right, so a little bit of shoulder stabilisation work, maybe in a way that we don't usually use the arm, so it's quite valuable for that. And we've got this lovely stretch coming in for the back. Breathing in, and as you breathe out, you can lift, hand goes back, and we're reaching backwards. Okay? And to begin with, you know, it's enough to lift the body up, isn't it? All right? But as you go on, maybe you find you can start to work into a half back bend. Okay, coming backwards. A little way of opening the chest. So you're stretching over, hand comes back behind you, you're lifting your hips upwards and reaching backwards. Okay, one more time, taking it across, Taking it back, hand to the floor, hips go up, and we're reaching it back. Good job. All right, bend up both of your knees for me. Go in and under, take hold of your elbows, and then just pull down a little into the lower back. Alright, then finding your fingers underneath your knees, and then again rounding the spine and drawing down a little bit. And then turning your hand grip, holding the other way round, and going again. Coming around to seated. Just going to work in a little twist for the neck and the shoulders. Okay, so feel free to have your legs in a different position if the cross leg's not comfortable. I'm going to draw my opposite arm to my knee, have my palm facing open, and then sitting up nice and tall, looking up over the shoulder. And just keep taking your gaze a little bit further round. And then release, so we go the other way. And bring it back to the middle. Now if we can push down with our fingers into the floor, take your hand over the top and find your ear, and then very carefully draw your ear away from the fingers that are pushing down into the ground. And then work your fingers to the back corner of your head, and then just inclining your head slightly downwards and across. And then head coming back on up. Swap your hands over, other hand going over the top, find your ear, and then just again gently draw the ear away from you, away from the fingers. And then fingers going to the back corner of your head and drawing over and across. And then coming back on up. Just opening up with your chest, just bring your hands in together, pull the arms upwards. So I'm taking them up a little here today. So rather than pulling them downwards, we're pulling them away to really open out the chest. Good, and then letting your arms down, and then we go the other way. So now we're stretching it forwards, rounding the back. As you come on up, breathing in. As you push your fingers out and away from you, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Breathing out. Bring the arms forward, stretch it away. Breathing in, bring your arms up. As you breathe out, opening it out wide, shoulders draw downwards. One more time, stretching it forwards. Breathing in, coming up. Breathing out, opening out nice and wide. Let the shoulders release on out. Okay, we're all done for tonight. Very well done, everybody. Okay, drink some water before end of play today.